Hello YouTube family, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharida and welcome. And in today's video, we are diving into some amazing gourmand fragrances that are going to be perfect for spring. So if that sounds like your vibe, then let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. So you guys, before we start, as always, be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you find any value along the way in the content, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. So the first two fragrances that I want to touch on were actually decants gifted to me by Scentsplit. So you all know for years, probably since I've started this channel, I have always recommended that you go to Scentsplit for a lot of your decants because first of all, they have varying sizes. So you're not stuck with the 0.7 mils or, you know, the 2 mils, which in my opinion, it is really hard to make an educated, like real decision on if a fragrance is full bottle worthy. And it's just really hard to evaluate things like longevity, sillage when you're talking about something this small. So I like to stick to something around this size, around the 5 mils. Some people like to go even larger, but whatever your size needs are, Scentsplit is definitely, you know, the go-to for me because they're going to have not only the decants in varying sizes, they also have full bottles. So I love to spin the block for the full bottle after I've sampled it through them because a lot of the times if you are signed up to be a member, you can usually look in there and find a coupon under your account. So the two that I have are both gourmands, and the first one is called Lick Me. I don't know if this is going to be one that's popular, trending, but I just love the look of this bottle first of all. And this is from the house of Michela MEZZETTI Parfums. This is a new house to me, but you are going to get, to me, in my opinion, this smells like Bianco Latte, Gourmand Escapade had a love child. And you're going to think automatically that it's going to have a really dense or thick wearing experience, but you have to envision the scents of both of those fragrances with it dialed back. Okay, so this is going to be a lot lighter wearing, and imagine that with a dollop of vanilla gelato just kind of dumped on top. This is literally going to give you a fluffier, powderier, easier to wear in the high heat version of those fragrances in this one bottle. So that is what I do like about it. Now, is this going to be one that I find to be full bottle worthy? I think for me personally, it's going to be a little redundant. I've got dupes of Bianco Latte. I have the original Bianco Latte. I have Gourmand Escapade. I have fragrances that remind me of Gourmand Escapade. So I don't think that this would be full bottle worthy for me. But if you are someone who did like the way those fragrances smell, but they were just a little bit too sweet, too cloying, too thick and rich and dense, then I would say check Lick Me out. So this one has opening notes of sugar, whipped cream, and powdery notes. You have middle notes of iris, waffle cone, and ice cream, and you have base notes of vanilla and amber. It is without a doubt one that I feel like a lot of people would love if you had been wanting to like those other two, but you just want something that gives a different texture and wearing experience, especially for warmer weather. So again, this one is Lick Me from the house of Michela MEZZETTI. Now, the second one I want to touch on is called, bear with me now, Meraviglianza. And I don't know what that is supposed to mean or translate to, but this is from the house of Lumi. And I just find this to be extremely unique and intriguing, but the notes versus what I'm smelling do not align at all. So this is supposed to be a strawberry and whipped cream fragrance with lots of aldehydes, and it has like a note of champagne. So basically the only notes you're getting from the brand is champagne, whipped cream, strawberry. But to my nose and on my skin, y'all, this smells grape to me. It smells like grape candy, grape, like blow pop from Charms, blow pop from back in the day. It's very nostalgic smelling to me. I don't get strawberry, champagne, whipped cream. I get a really sweet, delicious gourmand that gives a candy vibe, and I just never quite smell anything like it. Almost, and you do get that fizzy, like I guess from where the aldehydes or champagne would come in, but it's almost like fizzy pop rocks. Like this is a candy explosion to me in my nose. I don't know if you're going to get that, but if you're looking for something sweet, unique, fruity, but me personally, again, I'm getting grape, then I would say check this one out. These are both ones I think you should go ahead and try to at least sample, you know, get you a 5 mil and see how it wears on your skin, because those are two that I was actually intrigued by. Now, the one that I sampled and I said I want a full bottle of, Choux Choux. This is from the house of LIIS, and you all know me if you have been with me for a while, you know that citrus gourmand, citrus vanilla, citrus anything can be a little challenging in some aspects because my skin just really pulls it forward. It can be really too much really easily, like the Devotion. Oh my God. Team too much on that lemon. Bake by Acro, wanted to love it, but the opening was just too much with that lemon zest. It was just too much, and it took forever for that to calm down on my skin because I really did enjoy the final dry down of that. But for me to wait an hour, 2 hours for something to kind of settle down on my skin, I just can't do a full bottle of it. Choux Choux is so delicious and beautiful, but this is going to be a light, fluffy lemon vanilla gourmand. And there is just something a little whipped, delicious, and just spring vibes about this one. So this one opens with the lemon zest, and you also have some whipped cream in the top. You have middle notes of salt, caramel, vanilla, and you have base notes of cocoa, mocha, and sandalwood. Now, I don't get anything really chocolatey or cacao or mocha-like at any point in this fragrance. If you've ever tried this, let me know if your wearing experience is different. But y'all, the top and the mid is definitely what this fragrance is giving. This is fluffy whipped cream. It's almost like a lemon meringue pie experience, but very wearable. Again, wearing on that scent bubble lighter side with, I would say, moderate longevity. You're going to get a good 5 hours, and for a scent to wear in this way, I find that, you know, I don't have an issue with that at all. I like that. I don't mind topping it off, but this is just such a gorgeous citrus vanilla experience. And if you are someone that really struggles with the citrus gourmands, the citrus vanillas, please check out Choux Choux because this was such a wonderful wearing experience for me. And you will rarely hear me say that when it comes to fragrances of this scent profile. So again, this one is Choux Choux, and this is from the house of LIIS. And a huge thank you to Scentsplit for sending over these 3 fragrances to me to try. So the next one I want to get into is a chic, gorgeous gourmand that I have been talking about quite a bit. Lighter wearing, easy to wear. Again, moderate performance on this one. And this is Pistachio Chic. I hope that this is back in stock as I tell you about it, because I just think that if you struggle with gourmands, especially when it begins to heat up, this is going to be perfect. This is definitely pistachio. It's mildly sweet. It's not super thick, heavy, sweet, cloying like at all. Again, this is in Micallef, okay? So we're always going to give a little elevated, chic, easy, breezy, but sophisticated nonetheless. So this opens with pear and whipped cream. You have middle notes of pistachio, rum, chestnut, peony, and cardamom, and you have base notes of marshmallow, cedar, and tonka bean. So the fact that they're mentioning whipped cream, marshmallow, again, you know, notes like that are going to lend to a really floaty, fluffy quality in your gourmands typically. And I just think this is a really well executed fragrance for the people that love gourmands, one, but also ones that struggle with gourmands or that don't find gourmands very sophisticated. I think this is a really sophisticated take on a gourmand. Again, the pistachio is an easier to wear nut. The chestnut is very mild, okay? Because chestnut can really overpower a scent and make it, you know, we are smelling like nuts up in here. I don't really get that. You get it a bit, but it's not overdone. Beautiful, chic gourmand, okay? This one again is Pistachio Chic from the house of Micallef. So next up on this list is a Snif combo. We're going to be layering our Coco Shimmy from Snif with the Extra Whip body spray. So if you're looking to smell like a gorgeous sunny experience, but you want to make it almost like a coconut cream pie type of wearing situation, add on the Extra Whip. These go together so beautifully, and when they really start to dry down on the skin, come together to create a single scent, it really does give an easy to wear spring coconut whipped vibe, and they just really do complement each other so well. So if you're not familiar, Coco Shimmy is a little lactonic from that coconut. It is sweet. It's just a really delicious fruity vibe, and on its own it's just amazing, especially for spring and summer. So this one opens with coconut and pineapple. You have middle notes of suntan lotion and surf wax, and you have base notes of tonka bean and sandalwood. So Extra Whip has notes of cold aldehydes, icing sugar, whipped cream, vanilla, milky sandalwood, and fluffy musk. When I first started to explore this scent, for some reason the sandalwood was really so prominent on my skin, you know, my first wear of this. But since I have worn it, revisited, I don't get that as much. I feel like those sweet whipped cream, you know, vanilla milky facets come through a little bit more. That's why it's always great to just kind of give fragrances multiple wears, because depending on what time of the month it is, especially for women, depending on what the weather's doing, you can just pull fragrances differently on your skin. So I am thoroughly enjoying this one, especially as a layering staple. And I just think that these are delicious coconut whipped cream heaven combo, match made in heaven. Okay, so again, this one is extra whip and this is Coco Shimmy, and they are both from the house of Snif. You guys, don't forget, you can always save 10% when you shop Snif direct. So as always, the details on how to save will be linked in the description box. So this next one is a bougie, sexy, very grown up gourmand that is perfect for all year wear. And I'm talking about none other than Peach Aurum, which is my collaboration that I have done with Navitus. So this fragrance is supposed to be an inspiration of like a peach cobbler. And much like the dessert, it is one that you're going to enjoy all year. I love having me a big bowl of peach cobbler with a la mode, ice cream, all of that at a spring and summer cookout. I also love it in the dead of, you know, fall and winter. So the inspiration is also, you know, one that you can just carry throughout all year for your dessert life, but also in your fragrance life. So this is going to be a moderate wearing one, because this could have easily gotten to be just a little bit too much for spring and summer weather. And because I wanted it to be an all year gourmand, I wanted something moderate wearing, and that's exactly what it gives. Now, it is going to pull a lot, I would say, sweeter and maybe come alive a little bit more on the skin in the heat. So just depending on how you tolerate spicy, sweet, you know, you may have to go a little easier on the trigger, but I just love to overspray it. And I think that this is so delicious, but it is a gourmand that is quite grown up. The spice is very mild in here. You all know I cannot do a lot of punchy spice often. I really have to be in the mood for it. And punchy spice is definitely something that I kind of, you know, keep in that category of fall winter. This one, the spice is there just like you would imagine it in the dessert. It's there, but it's not a cinnamon dessert. It's not going to take over the dessert. Same with the fragrance, okay? So Peach Aurum opens with notes of peach, amaretto, Turkish rose. You have middle notes of puff pastry, condensed milk, and cinnamon. And you have base notes of oak leaves, musk, and sugar. I just think that this is really beautifully balanced. It does give a little bit of that pastry vibe in there, but above all, I think this is a gorgeous, sexy peach fragrance that is definitely going to speak to the gourmand lover. So this one you can get at Neiman Marcus now, okay? And you can always, of course, shop it at Navitus direct. But yeah, this is my baby again, Peach Aurum from the house of Navitus. So this next one is another citrus gourmand, okay? And blew me away instantly because you really do get the citrus in here. But for some reason, some kind of way, they were able to make it work for me. And this is just one that I am completely obsessed with. It wears very elevated, but it is still very sweet and vanilla forward. This is going to be Essence Vanille from the house of MARSTÉ. I've talked about it quite a bit on my channel since it has come out. I actually love the entire range, but you hear me talk about this one the most because this is the one that has me in a chokehold, and a lot of other people too, apparently. I'm trying to mind my sprays because this bottle is, I think this is a 30 ml, and this is a part of, you know, the essences, but I just think that I could easily use this in a 100. Honey Marlena, if you are listening, please go on ahead and give us a large size of this one, a 50 ml. That would be so fabulous because I really do enjoy this fragrance. So this is an eau de parfum. Don't hear the word essence and think it's going to be like that essence formulation that's a mix between a cologne and a perfume. It's not. This is giving eau de parfum concentration, and I just think that this mix of vanilla, coriander, and lime are a beautiful match made in heaven. This vanilla wears quite ambery, so this is going to be one that you really can wear all year, but that lime, it is done to perfection, and that is where you're going to get this amazing, you know, spring summer vibe come to life. But again, because of the way the vanilla wears in here, perfect for all year wear. You're not going to pull this out in the dead of winter and think, okay, this is not really giving me. No, trust me, 365 days a year, you can pull this vanilla out. And that again is another thing I love about this one. Okay, so this one again is Essence Vanille, and this is from the house of MARSTÉ. This next one is a bougie, gorgeously sweet, but also somewhat fresh ambroxan take on a gourmand. And this is going to be Yum Bougie Marshmallow 81. So what I love about this fragrance is you are getting to enjoy all of the things we love about gourmand. It's sweet, there's a decadence to it, it's very flirty, it's fun, it's a little powdery. You're definitely getting marshmallow, okay? But the way they have balanced it with like this musky and ambroxan woody vibe, it really does give you perfect wear for a spring and summer gourmand. You don't have to worry about this one getting just too sweet, doing too much, and becoming a little cloying, which a lot of people, you know, would say that the Kayali gourmands can do. I just think that this one was really well thought out and really well executed. So this one opens with notes of freesia, Italian lemon, nectarine blossom, and apple. You have middle notes of marshmallow, strawberry, coconut, and orange blossom, and you have base notes of whipped cream, sugar, vanilla, musk, raspberry, and ambroxan. The fruits, I mean, they're a little indiscriminate. I can see the, okay, strawberry, raspberry, like you would have to tell me, but if I had to pick one you would get more of, I would say maybe a little bit more strawberry. Very beautiful, whipped, fluffy, fruity vanilla experience. That is how I would describe it. Amazing performance, especially for a scent of this profile. And I just think that if you have both of your yums, baby, layer them together and get a beautiful whipped fluffy gourmand experience, okay? And again, this one is Yum Bougie Marshmallow 81 from the house of Kayali. So next up on the list is from the house of Byron Parfums, and this is one I absolutely adore, okay? The Chronic Rouge Extreme. This has got to be without a doubt the airiest, fluffiest experience, but with good performance, a fragrance that I have in my collection, because nothing else in my collection has this texture to it. This is just, I am just in the clouds, and I smell of raspberries and caramel and vanilla, and it is a cloudy, whipped, fluffy experience. But when I say that, don't think super mild, light, you know, scent bubble. This one, people will really be able to smell on you. It has wonderful lasting power, and this is a gourmand that I cannot get enough of when it starts to heat up. So the Chronic Rouge Extreme opens with raspberry, whipped cream, melon, and pear. You have middle notes of amber, spicy notes, and cinnamon, and you have base notes of sandalwood, white musk, and patchouli. So to me personally, I feel like this raspberry comes off as a little strawberry, and raspberry and strawberry will definitely do that a lot in fragrances. I mean, they are both fantasy notes. You know, you can't really express those type of smells from a fruit. So they really do, like, you see them a lot featured together in fragrances because they really do kind of smell like each other in a lot of scents. And I just think that if you're looking for something really easygoing, flirty, fun, fruity, fluffy, but a little ambery, then you have got to get your nose on this one. This is just gourmand perfection to me. I absolutely love it. And again, if you're looking for one that is perfect for spring, then this is absolutely one you need to check out. All right. So again, this one is the Chronic Rouge Extreme from the house of Byron Parfums. Next on the list is from the house of Florite, and this is absolutely an obsession for me. This is Gateau des Anges, and this is going to give you the most elevated take on a vanilla cake ever, okay? This is very unique smelling and unique wearing. I get something, again, really airy, fluffy. It's so fluffy. You have just got to smell this. Like, I have never smelled a vanilla done in this way. And vanilla that really gives you vanilla, it is very hard to make those come across as unique or to come across in a way that doesn't remind you of others you've smelled or others in your collection. But this has really done a fabulous job in doing that. So this is literally smelling angel food cake baking in the oven, but you're smelling this in the air. So beautiful. And I'm going to read off the notes, and you're just going to be like, how's this really going to wear? Because the notes are not going to suggest a like airy and fluffy experience, okay? But that is definitely what you're going to get when you wear it. So this opens with butter, peach, lemon, and whiskey. You have middle notes of honeysuckle, milk, and caramel, and you have base notes of gourmand, accord, tuberose, and vanilla. To me personally, I don't get like this standout tuberose. I just think that the fruitiness of this, the caramel, it's just so beautifully blended, you guys. So you are going want to get something a little lactonic, but not in a heavy way, okay? We're talking more like, even though it says milk, we have definitely put this heavy cream or this milk in a mixer and we have whipped some air into this. So it's almost like a little frothy. So you really don't have to worry about this one wearing too dense, thick, and heavy. So making it a perfect vanilla gourmand that is sweet, that is unique for this time of year. Again, caramel, vanilla, creamy, that is the vibe, but also having that, you know, cakey vibe about it, all right? So again, this one is Gateau des Anges, and this is from the house of Florite Parfums. All right, you guys, so that is it for me today. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel and be sure to drop me a line and let me know which gourmand fragrances that have intrigued you in this list, and also ones that you have that you will be wearing all spring season. I am someone that loves to enjoy gourmands all year, and these are just a few that I will be wearing for spring. So with that being said, make sure again that you are subscribed. Give me a big thumbs up. Discount codes, as always, link below, and I will catch you guys on the next one.